Is it in frame? Hey guys, it's Zach Garvey with the Zach Garvey Team of Keller Williams Realty. Thanks for joining us today on our YouTube channel. Several segments ago, we dove into the 4 factors of selling your house. And today I want to spend a lot of time surrounding pricing, which is one of the 4 levers that we focus on. Those of you who aren't aware or maybe have watched the news nationally, right now it's really important to know that we're in a shifting market. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Doesn't mean it's really a good thing necessarily either. It just means it's what is, and the market is shifting all around us. Many sequential months, we were in an upswing in the marketplace. If you're familiar with the industry, real estate is cyclical, meaning that you're going to have cycles of inventory hitting the market. It could be more inventory, it could be less inventory, and that's ultimately going to impact the law of supply and demand. Today, I want to lean into why pricing matters. And I'm going to share a little bit of data with you and statistics that we've been studying, and ultimately to help the consumer, to help you make the best informed decision that you can, and to see, hey, where can I be best positioned right now in today's market? Pricing to sell can benefit homeowners in various reasons. 3 main reasons that it benefits you to price to sell is you're going to receive immediate traffic. Remember, you're marketing to 2 buyers at all times: buyers who have just entering the market and buyers who have exhausted the market, meaning they've seen everything that's currently on the market that meets their needs. And so you're going to drive immediate traffic to your home when you price it properly. Additionally, we may even be able to receive multiple offers. It may look like that your home, the way you're positioned in terms of your price and your marketing, that it could be the best positioned at that time. And that could drive multiple offers to your house. When you get multiple offers, you typically net more money. Ultimately, too, you're going to see a shorter marketing window, meaning that when you're pricing very competitively in the marketplace, you're going to likely limit your days on the market. The way to combat the market right now is to price competitively in the market such that you'll see that that will limit your days on the market. If you have a goal to sell your home in X amount of days, let's call it 90 days, then you may want to consider, how can we most favorably position our home in order to achieve our goals? And that's where leaning on an expert like us can be extremely helpful, because when you're pricing competitively, you will shorten your marketing window of time. The risks of overpricing are lower foot traffic, price reductions, and buyer fatigue, and really seller fatigue as well. That when you have 10, 20, 30 people coming into your house day in and day out, and they're saying, no, we're going to select another house, fatigue takes place, becomes tiresome, becomes frustrating. And there are ways to avoid that, and certainly leaning on your professional to help guide you and to set proper expectations of the current marketplace. And one thing that we're extremely thoughtful of and that we're committed to is extensive market research, knowledge of the nuances of the real estate negotiation, using advanced tools with marketing, photography, and videography to drive as much traffic as we can to your house. What we're seeing is that homes that are not priced properly in the marketplace, they're either taking significantly longer to sell, or they're simply not selling at all. When they don't sell at all, that's called a canceled listing or an expired listing. And interestingly enough, the data I'm going to share today is going to be comparing Q2 of 2025 versus Q2 of 2024. Okay, so we're going to look at a rolling 12 months of data here. 43% of listings failed in the last comparable year of comparing 2025 Q2 to 2024 Q2. And I say Q2, I'm speaking into quarter 2 of the year. That's a staggering amount of homes that have entered the market and have not sold for one reason or another. And it doesn't mean that price is that reason, by the way. I want to be really clear. Again, we focus on 4 factors. What I can guarantee is that one of those factors actually caused the home not to sell. Could it be price? Maybe, yet maybe not. It's really important right now to think of pricing as a strategy. And the strategy that one may think of is, how do I position myself in the market to generate the most amount of interest in the least amount of time? Because we got to remember that when you're a seller entering the market, you're also entering a competition because buyers are going to be comparing your home to every other home on the market. And depending where your home's value is, there could be a lot of inventory that you're competing against right now. It's extremely valuable as the seller to say, hey, if I'm going to be buying my house today, how can I position it best that will generate the most amount of interest in the least amount of time? And when I say that, I'm not speaking into a fire sale by any means at all. I'm speaking into strategy. We must be objective and think, how's a buyer thinking? And a buyer's thinking, when a new listing comes on the market like yours may be, it's going to create urgency. It's going to create excitement. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, how soon can we go and see this house? And it takes the wind out of the sale if you allow days on market to increase month after month after month. And a buyer starts to ask, well, what's wrong? Why hasn't it sold? In fact, you're creating your own stigma on your home that frankly is unnecessary by strategically pricing to begin with. Right now, we're sharing with our clients, if we can procure a contract within the first 30 days, we're winning right now. Go back a couple of years ago, if we didn't have it sold in a weekend, we would think, oh my gosh, what's wrong? So the climate's changing a little bit. And ultimately, I think it's studying where the market is. It's understanding what to expect, what not to expect. And then you're testing, you're trying things out. Some interesting information as well is that compared to Q2 of 25, comparable to Q2 of 2024, 46% of transactions had a price adjustment, meaning that the seller realized somewhere in that process, hey, the price isn't jiving. And you know your price isn't jiving in the marketplace by the metric we use of showings, meaning that buyers are coming in, they're viewing the home. They may even be making a second look at the house as well after they viewed the first time. When there's the absence of showings and activity or leads received on the property, it's an indication that your home's not in alignment or the price is not in alignment of the current market. And that's an indication that buyers are becoming much more thoughtful of how much they're spending on a house. And is your home priced properly in that price band? I've literally adjusted a price $100 and generated multiple showings the very next week and an offer by simply adjusting strategically $100. That's not the case for every single time, yet it goes to show, not always speaking of, oh, we have to adjust the price $50,000 or $100,000. We're also seeing more closing costs contributed by the seller take place this year as well. In fact, 50% of sellers have made some form of seller contribution towards the buyer's closing cost. That might be to help with attorney's fees, be to help for some lender costs, even a buy down for the interest rate. That's compared to last year. Median days on the market is 48 days on average compared to 23 days a year ago. So there's about 50% more of market time with the median days on the market currently. All this to say is that it's really important to focus on the months of housing supply that's available in the price range that your home is marketed at. And typically that could be a $25,000, could even be a $50,000 gap or a price band. And that's going to be truly dependent on what kind of property you have and where it's positioned. And that's going to tell you exactly how many homes you're competing against, what the months of housing supply looks like. And that's going to tell you ultimately, are we in a seller's market, buyer's market, or balanced market? Quite frankly, we're in all three right now at any given time, depending on what your home is worth ultimately. Yet don't be surprised if your neighbor or a friend is selling a home and they may be dead in the water, not getting much traction. You might speak to another friend of yours that had multiple offers. We're in the tale of two markets right now. And it's so important to lean in with a local professional like ourselves or another relationship that you might have to gain insight, to gain knowledge. We are career driven. This is our livelihood of serving the community and helping people make really informed decisions. We're not attached. Whether you choose to hire us or even to sell your house, it's like, hey, let's see if this makes sense or not. It may not make sense. I think there ought to be thoughtfulness and care of what are the expectations right now of the market. The expectations today, they were different than last year. Frankly, the expectations today might be different as we enter Q3 of this year. And so it's very fluid right now. And I wholeheartedly believe in connecting with a local expert, asking these questions of what to expect, how can we be best positioned, because ultimately our goal is to net you the most amount of money the market supports. Values are still extremely strong. If you use COVID as a baseline, the gained equity that sellers have experienced and continuing to experience, it's unprecedented, frankly. When you look at from when you may have purchased a home in 2020 or 2021 or 2022, and the appreciation that's taken place in a short 3 or 4 years, it's astounding. So sellers stand to benefit greatly in this market today. It's simply changing. And when change occurs, we want to stay on top of it. We want to add value to you so you can make the most informed decision. I trust this episode was of value today. Be sure to like us, share any comments that you have. You can find us online at zachgarveyteam.com. You can reach us directly at 678-696-7057 or shoot us an email at info@zachgarveyteam.com. Thanks for joining, and we'll catch you guys next time.